But yeah, we just came off of a very, matter of fact, get your drinks ready. Get your drinks ready. You know what I'm saying? Get something to wet your whistle. We are just coming off of what seemed to be the first and the last, although you could say you save the best for last or the best come first. Yeah, very questionable in this standpoint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank my opinion, in my opinion, how these liveries went. There are 10 teams. There will be 10 spots. Fortunately for them, 10 is the lowest you can go, because it's only 10 people, but that's the worst. 10 will be the worst. 1 will be the best. And also, I will not do these in like a 1 to 10 or 10 to 1 order. We're going to do them in the order of the reveals as they were listed in calendar. So the first team, what's up, Galacticus? What's up, Judica? What's up, Mary? So I know everybody's not going to agree. You got to have your own opinions. Feel free to put it in the comment section, in the live chat, all of that good stuff. So let's get started with the first team. What's up, Musa? Let's get started with the first team that started us off in the whole launch of liveries. And that first team was indeed Haas, the most non-American team on the grid. Okay. So I don't know if you recall, but we were sitting there, people sitting there waiting for Haas to go ahead and drop their whole situation. By the way, you notice I don't have a photo of the Haas launch because there was none to see. Haas, I don't know if maybe they're saving money for the cost cap and didn't want to waste any money on that. Although the car did look decent as far as livery, this is not a livery ranking. We are ranking these teams on how they structured their launches, how they kept the engagement between the audience and us at home watching, the interest, the dry spots and or not, and drawn out a prolonged verbiage of talking when we are all looking and waiting to see the car. Okay, we're keeping all those things in mind. Well, Haas didn't have to worry about any of those damn things because they didn't even do a video. They didn't do a launch. And it's just like this. If you go to school, 2 people turn in homework. All right. 1 person turns it in. Maybe it looks like they rushed through it, but they completed it. It might be wrong. It might be a 50%. The other person comes in, turns it in. They just got their name on the damn homework. They don't even have none of the questions, none of the answers filled out. How can I give you any points? How can I give you any points for that? When even if there was a team who did a horrible job, they at least turned in something that was complete, although not greatly completed. So for that, Haas will come in last. They get a 10. They come in last. They're in 10th place. That's last place for livery, for launches. 10 teams did launches. They are number 10. They are last in the grid. Now, that's not unfamiliar for where they typically sit when it comes to the seasons or when it comes to races. Like, they stay in that bottom era, seeing if they're going to come up a little bit more this season. But Haas and Williams have been known to jock around for that bottom tier money all the damn time. So Haas indeed got a 10. They were the worst launch to me as far as not even bringing anything for us to really view. Releasing pictures on the Instagram, like right there and just dropping media. It was very lackluster. No real thought, no real energy went into it. I think they should have done better, especially if they're looking to capture the American market. They definitely bummed out. So Haas, last place all the way down. Okay. So I don't need any of this fucking hell. You're probably right, Gunther. You don't need any. That's why you're mad. You're walking off. You're probably going to do a lot of that in DTS. But I mean, hey, that's what you get, bro. So now let's go to the next launch, which is Red Bull Racing. Red Bull Racing next. And I'm going to tell you right now, Red Bull has the ability to do so much and make, like, their 2022 drop was pretty damn good. Like, it was good. They came in with the cars. You know, they always have a good montage of screens with driving through cities or deserts or, you know, all of that stuff. They do a good job with that. But they tried. This is what was funny to me. Red Bull tried so hard to make an effort to show people or show us that, yo, listen, we diverse. Like, we believe in diversity. I know all the other stuff you done seen, the Obama monkey shaped kind of mask, Obama chasing after a banana like a monkey and people in blackface. I know you saw that, or, you know, you saw that whole company write up how we were being very discriminatory and biased and racist. Pretty much bombs come here, zoo animals were kept in Africa. I know you saw that, and the other plethora of things you saw, from us having to get rid of somebody. I know you saw the Yuri Vips and all the N-word used, but listen, we really do have diversity. But the funny thing was, Red Bull, all the people that you showed sitting on the couch talking about diversity weren't included in the Formula One team. So what the hell does that matter to us? You utilize other compartments of Red Bull's overall company to pull in. I don't even know what a knuckle huck was, and how important was it for me to learn the knuckle huck when my brother trying to explain the knuckle huck hardly really could explain that well. I don't know how much a knuckle huck will help you. I mean, try to remember what a knuckle huck is, y'all. I did like the fact they had a female there to try to bring that in, but where's your female representative within the Formula One team? This is a Formula One launch. We would like to see what you're doing in the Formula One organization of Red Bull, which you could not show us that. You couldn't. Then, for a second, I could have swore that this was Red Bull, not AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri is your fashion side of the fence, of the yard. Why do we need to see a whole fashion lineup with Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez trying on all these clothes? I mean, it wasn't needed. Like, that didn't interest us. I mean, you went on probably for, I think Red Bull's launch was almost an hour, maybe close to an hour, okay? Then you did all of that to pretty much drop a damn car with the same damn livery on it. Nothing really different at all on this Red Bull car. That's what Red Bull did. And it is a damn shame. And many members in my family, especially Musa, have said this. It is embarrassing. Although a scandal, your first 2021 championship, a cost cap in the 2022, but more legitimate, period, it is embarrassing and it is disrespectful for a two-time champion defending in Formula One to do a launch as much and little as that. As much and as little as that. So for that, Red Bull, you come in 8th. You come in 8th. That's not 9th. You're up with some spots from 10, but you come in 8th, all right? You come in 8th. Hopefully Lewis Hamilton gets his 8th world championship. I don't know if Max Verstappen will reach 8. Maybe that's a lucky number. Maybe that might happen. I know Max's lucky number is 1, but hey, maybe 8 might happen. But yes, Red Bull gets an 8 on my scale. They had an opportunity to do more. They didn't. They dropped damn near the same livery, taught nothing about really on the car. The diversity inclusion that they tried to include really wasn't even honed in on the Formula One team, which is where it needed to be. We didn't need to see a fashion show and putting on clothes with Max Verstappen and Perez. Like, it really was, even Red Bull fans in the live chat of the Red Bull channel were talking crap and throwing clown emojis and snooze fest emojis and all of that. So it's not just me. Okay, Red Bull fans weren't happy with what you brought to them. Red Bull fans weren't happy when Max Verstappen shitted on Sergio Perez. They wasn't happy with that. So you're not really running a good course coming in to 2023. Just saying. So yes, Red Bull gets an 8. They get an 8. So we're going to head on down because things do start getting a little bit better. I think at this point in time, I think the first 2 launches, we all were kind of looking like, damn, is this the way this is all going to kind of go? Like, we got Haas, not to say we expected much, but we expected more than that. But Red Bull, I even was pretty much looking forward to the Red Bull launch because I feel like they have an ability to do all the video stuff and bring it together, and they didn't. They dropped the ball heavily. And I started wondering, like, are all these launches going to go this way? Are they going to go this way? That's what I started thinking. So the next launch, surprisingly, Williams is up. And I say the team that once lived in the heavens, got their wings clipped and fell to the earth, will they ever return? Williams once a great team, not so much now. Recently acquired young American, most recent American driver on the grid in Logan Sargent. They come out right out of the gate. I think right out of the gate watching the Williams, we were like, oh shit. Finally, somebody opens up a launch with some excitement and energy. They come in, got the video, they got the hard cuts going, they got the car silhouette in the background, they got the lights going. It was cool. But listen, off the rip, we get a glimpse of the car. Nice, quick intro. You know what I'm saying? Of their academy drivers. So they hit different areas of that. You know, we got introduced to them, a little verbiage, nothing too long and prolonged on that, though. You know what I'm saying? Just enough for us to get to know, okay, damn, okay, cool, they got that. Then they had Will Buxton. Some of y'all don't like Will Buxton. Sometimes I don't like what Will Buxton does, but I think Will Buxton's pretty good at what he does. I do. He's pretty good at what he does. They had Will Buxton as a host. I think that was a plus. But some of the things that I didn't like were they didn't go in depth with the car. They didn't really go into tech talk with the car. That was something they could have done better, okay? They could have done better with that. But then I like the fact they also brought in both drivers to talk with both drivers, and we also got a little backstory, current story, and what the drivers are looking for in their own video clips, which was cool. It was nice. And then the launch was under 20 minutes. It was under 20 minutes. They kept it nice. They ran through. They could have elaborated more on the car. I think that would have been good. But other than that, Williams did a pretty good damn job, given we had 2 launches sacked off. Williams did a pretty good job for that. I give Williams a 3. Williams gets a 3 from me. They do. They get a 3. They did a good job. They came in third. They were third. They came in third. I thought they packaged it well. Nothing was like really running over. There wasn't a moment where I felt like, damn, this shit dry as hell. Like, what the hell is going on? There were some small areas that they could have done better on and definitely elaborated more on the car. But overall, package launch-wise, kept your attention, wasn't too drawn out. It was under 30 minutes. Like I said, under 20 minutes pretty much. I think overall, cool. Williams definitely, like I said, they get a 3 from me for their launch. So to go to the next team, Alfa Romeo is next. Joe Bodas returning again. Hey, livery was nice. It was fire to me, but we're not talking about liveries right now. We're talking about the launch. So it was cool. Andreas was present, although he did not talk. Andreas didn't talk. It could have been because of contracts. Maybe he's not fully into the team. We know Fred Vassar's left. He's at Ferrari now, so maybe that's why. But at least he was present, so I will give him that. But I'm not going to lie to you. The talk with the technical director and the damn, oh my goodness. It was like Visine commercial times 10, dry eyes, monotone as hell. Although he was giving some good information, it wasn't very, it's hard to engage with somebody like that. It went on for longer than it really needed to. And Lawrence did host. That was a positive. I like Lawrence. I met Lawrence at COTA. He was cool. He did host. And they did have both drivers present with the car before the unveiling. But this is where I feel they could have did a little bit better. Both drivers had only seen renders. Now Lawrence is in the same building, although I think it was pre-recorded. You know, I could deduct them points for that. They were in the same building with Lawrence, with the car when they recorded that. Neither driver had physically seen the car. So now they talk about some of the things about last season. So now they uncover the car. Both drivers see the car, and then they just cut from that and go back to the studio. Well, damn. Could we not at least hear the driver's reaction on scene, on set, while they're looking at the car? I think that would have been a plus to do, but they didn't do that. They did not do that. Then I will give them the whole exploded CGI view of the car. I thought that was really nice. The exploded view. I thought that was cool. Kind of the car pieces blown out, coming together. The Q&A session. Yo, next time they do a Q&A session, what they need to do is have selected people already that they will predestined go to, because they tried to open it up for their crowd. And let me tell you, at first when they opened it up for their fan club of 60 people in the venue, Nobody was wanting to ask a question. And this one guy raised his hand and asked a question, I think, about damn coffee or something. I think he has a question about coffee. Or he has a question that really wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't great. But at least he took the chance to ask one. And then they take time and then they going online to all these people. That shit was drawn out. I think I think really they should have brought Lawrence in more to host, lead the other guy off, and then give the technical director some time where the car is to explain these things. They did explain, like, they're working with the back. But listen, crowd participation in the building for 60 people of a fan club was lack. The online situation, okay, cool. And then it was 1 hour. I felt like in that 1 hour, they did not maximize that 1 hour. I felt like for what they did, they probably should have condensed it and ran with less, and that would have been better. So for Alfa Romeo, I give them a 6. Alfa Romeo gets a 6. All right, they get a 6 from me. That's what they get. They get a 6. All right. So Alfa Romeo comes in with a 6. Not bad, not the worst, not the best, but hey, it is what it is. But they come in 6th and not last, but they definitely didn't do a better job than Williams. Although they took more time, sometime more is not better. Sometime less is more and better. And that's something that Alfa Romeo should have paid attention to if they were going to do what they did. And I don't think we spent enough time with the car, and especially with the way the technical director was talking about all the situations and things they were focused on the rear. I think he should have took the time to maybe go over those things with the car. They should have did better. Hopefully they do better next season. Okay. So let's get to our next team. And that team is the sister team of Red Bull Racing, AlphaTauri. Literally launching Fashion Week in New York. AlphaTauri does do clothes. This background to me kind of looks like something. I mean, I ain't trying to be biased or nothing, but Kanye West vibes is when I seen this. If Kanye directed it, big shout out to Kanye for getting the Formula One in fashion, because Kanye big in fashion. But AlphaTauri, what the hell, man? What the hell? I mean, what the hell was you thinking? Now, when they opened up, I was kind of optimistic. When AlphaTauri opened up for the launch, I was like, okay, we got another good video coming. Looks like they got a nice little hype video for us. And then I was kind of confused watching the video. Like, are we making box packaging for clothes? Or are we making something for the Formula One cars? It's just all mixed together? Or what the hell are we doing? We got damn DeVries and damn Sonoda sitting in the window like they, I need love. Boom, boom. Like, I didn't know really. It was like, okay, well, I thought this video was going to be good, but it's kind of seeming like, I don't know if it's going to be good. Ernie Simmons, I hope everyone, the new season of Formula One, I got to say, the Red Bull car launch, it was very boring. See? I told you. Big shout out to Ernie. You know what I'm saying? 6 months or more member. I feel you, Ernie. I'm with you. And then check this out. The AlphaTauri launch was about under 3 minutes. It was about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. All they did was do this whole montage of a video all the way up until then. And we didn't even, listen, no tech input on the car. No sit down with the drivers. You just got Nick DeVries, a very popular driver from last season, given what he did, testing with 3 different teams to then race and go into qualifying and race for one team, bringing him on points to get a contract coming into the next season. And we don't even get a sit down with DeVries and Sonoda as 2 new drivers, as one, but a new driver pairing and 1 new driver to AlphaTauri. That was lack. No good viewing of the car. We saw the car right here in this picture, and this picture was when they closed the whole video out after 3 minutes. It was Fashion Week, and I think the Fashion Week people got a better understanding and better visual of the car than we did as Formula One fans. It damn near pinched above Haas just a tad. So where do I have AlphaTauri? I'm going to tell you. I got them right next to their sister team, but just worse. They at a 9. They second up from last. They are at a 9. They got a 9 from me for that. They could have done better. 3 minutes, and you didn't do better than that. 3 minutes of this whole little video, and you couldn't even at least do a video like Williams did, talking to DeVries for him to tell us where he came from, what he did, how 2022 was for him, and what he plans to do in 2023, how Yuki feels about coming out, trying to take charge of the team, hopefully, against a veteran, non-veteran driver coming in. Like, you could have done better with that and gave us some on that, and then actually had something where we went around the car. They didn't do that. The shot that you see right there was what we saw of the car until we got the photo drop from media outlets. That's it. AlphaTauri did a lack-ass job as well. They just took less time to do it than their brother team Red Bull. So yeah, AlphaTauri gets a 9 from me. Definitely. All right. So next was McLaren, celebrating 60, I think 6 decades of racing heritage. Now McLaren, you know, we came low, came up, we dropped back down again. Now we're wondering, what the hell are y'all gonna do? What is McLaren gonna do? They definitely have a dynamic of a trio of driver triplets: Alex Palou, Oscar Piastri, who damn defected from Alpine to join McLaren, went through a whole custody dispute battle about which parent was gonna get the kid. He ends up going to McLaren. And then you got Lando, who has not only been through Carlos, Danny Rick, now he's coming up with Oscar. What's that going to be like? I'm going to tell you. They opened up with the car on stage. We could see that the car was on stage, giving us something to look forward to. How do you think the Mercedes will do this season? It is at 6 months. We will talk about that. So they open up with that. I like the fact that they set expectations for the revealing of the car. Like, the host was letting you know, like, hey, at this time, we are going to show you what you have come to see. That gives us expectations. So now we know, okay, you're on the clock. I'm not rushing you because you already told me when I'm to see the car. I see it's in the background. I see it's there. Okay, so let me see what else you got. They took us through a very nice historical racing heritage video to show the history, the weaves that hold the fabrics of McLaren together as being one of those historical racing teams. They even gave us a glimpse of a fan who definitely had a very memorable moment with somebody iconic in McLaren. Okay, 5 minutes to 5 minutes. Then they bring in the drivers. They automatically bring the drivers in. Oscar and Lando there. All right. We get to talk to them, see them both. Then about 3 minutes, about 3 minutes apiece talking, maybe less. Then what do? They bring out Zach. They bring out the new upcoming team principal, which is brought up through the ranks. We get to talk to them. Same thing. About 2 minutes a piece or something like that, a minute and a half a piece. Cool. We done talked to both drivers. We done talked to the CEO and new team principal. Cool. What we gonna get next? Then they fade into a montage video of now presently involving Oscar, involving Lando, involving the other past cars of McLaren to the new and current car of McLaren. And then, boom, the car's revealed. It's on stage. They show us. Kirk, wait. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat now. Maybe Red Bull and Alpha had bad release as payback to the F1 coverage of them that they were boycotting last season. Yeah, right. You might be right. That might have been what it was. You might be right. They might say, we're going to give y'all lessons. Y'all gave us so much bullshit last season for all the crap that we did. Well, crap gets crap. Do something different. Now, I will say this. They started another countdown for the actual car reveal, which I think didn't need to be done. All right. It didn't need to be done. They did that. Wasn't like it was extremely long, but I don't think they needed to do an additional countdown. I think that other teams did it too. I think that can be, don't do that. We had a countdown before you started the launch. We don't need another countdown inside of the launch. Another countdown. We don't need that. Take out those additional countdowns. Just say, hey, here it is. Boom, in exciting fashion to show us the car, okay? They also replayed audio from video that we already saw, which, didn't need to be done, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I just recognized it. The actual car is there with the drivers to react. I like that and give their feedback. The technical director did talk a bit about the car, go over some of the things of interest. And then we also got to, they did bring, they brought Zach and them out to go over some things and get their reaction and feedback. The entire launch was still 20 minutes. No real elaborate tech talk on the car though, which is something that I think they should have did, given the fact that, you know, they didn't have a lot of things. We kind of want to know what were you going to do to kind of come up, but it wasn't an indictment. Overall, McLaren packaged their launch very well. Boom, expectations, nice heritage videos. Let us show you what we're about. Let us show you what we're trying to be about. Let us introduce you to our drivers. Let's introduce you to the CEO. Let's show you this miraculous MCL 60. Let's go ahead and go to a nice video of that. Let's go ahead and bring it down, and let's go ahead and close shop. McLaren, to me, for that, I give McLaren 1. McLaren, to me, had the best reveal packaged overall of all teams. It was boom, 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 boom. Give you what you want, tell you a little bit about our history, tell you a little about where we're trying to go, talk to our drivers, talk to the CEO team principal, show you this car, show you a nice good ass video we put together, and we're going to see you in 2023. To me, McLaren, hands down, best launch, period. Really enjoyed teams that did some car tech talk. That is true, Galacticus, and we're going to get into that. But overall, McLaren, to me, had the best launch. They get a number 1. So the next team that we're going to go to, Aston Martin. Elaborate on the ass part. Aston Martin. All right. So Aston Martin, first opening up, I was like pretty interested. It was like almost seeming like some Mission Impossible movie type shit. They had the whole, what is it, RPV or RPF drone come in, you know, one of those fast drones come in and swoop in to the building. Then, you know, they showing you the factory and the inner workings of them trying to work hard to get this new car together. And the AMR 23 get put together and working as a team. I liked it. I thought it was good. I said, okay, this will be something. Then it started to turn green, no pun intended. Very early. They bought Lawrence, went Jerry Jones with it. Brought him up, and I mean Lawrence talked for about damn near 6 or 7 minutes about shit that, you know, was okay, but it was like, I mean, what you really doing up here, bro? It's cool to see you. You talking way too long, and you know, we're really not trying to hear this shit. So can we get on with it? But it would have been cool, like Zach, 3 minutes, maybe less. Boom, let it go. But he had to have the stage because he like, I pay the bills around here. I'm gonna get my fame and talk on this camera. That's how I felt when he did it. But it was good to talk to the team principal. All right. Then they had a nice composed video of the drivers. I thought that was good with the drivers and stuff like that. But I already said this earlier. When you do another countdown inside of a livery, a launch that you already started a countdown, it's like cliche. Stop the additional countdowns. They had I think Aston Martin had the longest countdown for their car inside of their launch than any other team. I mean, that countdown, I know they incorporated like the Matrix theme and all the green and the green circles circling and the whole glowing floor of the car. And but it was unneeded, and we were ready just to see the car. You could have brought it out in a much more efficient and exciting fashion than you did. It was so over the top, it wasn't exciting. We were just waiting to see when all this emerald green or Wizard of Oz shit was going to stop and when we were finally going to see the AMR 23. Okay, then they again replayed audio from the videos that we already saw earlier on the drivers. At least they had the car on stage for the drivers to react to, which was good for that. Now I did enjoy this. I think this is one of the first teams that took a little bit more of a deeper dive with the technical director there while the car is also there. Now I know Alfa Romeo's technical director talked a lot about the things that they updated and they focused on, but he didn't have the car there to give us visuals along with his verbal. Aston Martin, I believe, is the first team to complement the visual with the verbal from the technical director, talking about things over the car and going over different parts of the car about what they did. I did enjoy that. I also like the fact that they brought in, and big shout out to Williams for bringing Jamie Chadwick out. That was another major point I forgot to mention. Jamie Chadwick was first before they introduced really any of the other drivers. And I thought that ladies first. Jamie still has some connections to Williams. So another big tick for Williams is why they got placed in 3. But back to this, they had Jessica Hawkins there. They talked to her. But you know, then they kept going on, and then they got to talk to Alonso again, and then they brought the kids in, which the kids are cute, but I think Alonso paid him off to say Alonso was his best driver. You know, it went a little bit longer the tooth. It stayed under an hour, just 10 minutes or so, over 30 minutes. So for that, Aston Martin, not the worst, definitely not the best. Aston Martin gets a 5. They're in the midfield, which is where they're pretty much gonna run or lower probably this coming up season. We'll see though. You know, we'll see if Alonso's gonna take Aston Martin to the next level. We'll see what the hell that does. We'll check that out. But yeah, they get a 5 from me. Okay, they do. So then next, we will go ahead and go in to the next team, Ferrari. And let me tell y'all something. May I apologize, but I ain't sorry for nothing that I damn said about Ferrari. Okay. I hear what y'all been saying out there. I hear that some of y'all talking about Ferrari had the best lunch ever of all the teams. Are you doing shrooms? You might be. You might have ate a pizza that had shrooms on it instead of typical mushrooms, and you high as hell. You must be high as hell. I understand that Ferrari added a certain component that no other team did. I give them double marks for that. But let's not be fooled. What Ferrari did was similar to having a molded pizza with a good pepperoni in the middle, and you ate that pepperoni and said, well, it wasn't all bad. Yeah, but most of it was bad. And just because that pepperoni was nice and seared and sizzling and it tastes good, the rest of the pizza was rotten. It was rotten. Are you kidding me? Ferrari did their lunch like they did last season. They fumbled it up. Continuity was horrible. It was horrible. Look at my notes. I had the longest notes on Ferrari. So it was cool. Let me give them some positives. It was cool to see the fans actually there at their track. That was cool. That was really nice. Not 60 like fan club members. I think these were legitimate fans, and somehow they offered out certain amounts of tickets or however they may have done it. And these fans got to be present at the launch, outside in the simulated grandstand at the track. But for what reason? We had find out later. I'm not going to, they opened up talking Italian. Like, hey, I understand. Cool. They opened up talking that. I'm cool with that. But I don't want to talk to your host, either one of them, for 11 minutes into the lunch. Talking to host. No, those are not good points. I don't want to spend damn near 15 minutes talking to your host. Where are the drivers? Where's Fred? Where's the technical director? Where's the car? Okay? Y'all telling me, Wolfpack, be patient, be patient. No, fuck that. I don't want to talk to host for 15 minutes. Then 12 minutes before we even see the drivers. Like 12, 15 minutes before we even see Charles or Carlos. 20 minutes in, we finally see Fred, which I will give them points for, although it took 20 minutes to finally get to Fred. We did get to talk to Fred as one of the new team principals that has moved around the grid up to Ferrari from Alfa Romeo. I give them points for that. We finally got to talk to a team principal that's moved around, because the other team principal, McLaren, just moved up. He was already within McLaren. I also like to say, Judico brought this up, that it was possible that Andreas and Seidel Andreas and Andrea were probably not under complete contract to where they could talk to the team, because they probably were still in a gray area with those negotiations. I give fair points for that. But like I said, it was cool that we got to talk to Fred and Fred got to talk. Then they entered into this video of this track. Start the car up, and we're watching this red line go around this track. Might I add, at a very slow ass pace. You killed that part, because it was like, okay, we hear an exhaust. It ain't even revving up like that. It's like still an idle. We watching this red line go around this damn track, watching the red line. Yeah, I see it. Is the temperature rising? Is a fucking new thermometer or something? Oh, yeah, okay. It finally get there. Then we get a couple little red peaks, and then we like, what the hell's the point? If this is the intro into a very nice video, you could have cut that shit short. But it wasn't. They cut from that video to go back to Fred to talk about the engine sound. Ferrari, there were so many steps you could have took to have the best launch ever. You fumbled it up like you fumbled up 2022. Then what do? They cut back to Fred. This is poor continuity, like I said. Then again, into another video. Now we went from a video that could have been your intro start video, which you could have done faster. We cut and go back to Fred, which we didn't want to go back to Fred. We were hoping we were going to see the car at the end of that video, and we didn't. Now we were Fred. Now we into another video, and this video is the actual car reveal video, which was cool. But damn, you didn't sector. You didn't run good sectors here. The car video, cool, went around, the whole sheet came off like a magic trick, like David Copperfield lifted that motherfucker up. It was cool on that. And then what do? From here, you know what they should have did? I won't tell you that. I'll wait to tell you. But they cut from that video and we go back to Fred and I think Carlos and Shaw. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. Too much chatter in between the hosts again. We go back to these hosts. Too much chatter in between them. Then we go to another cheesy video about Charles and Carlos flipping about who's going to drive the car. We don't give a damn. We don't. That's something you should have did when bringing them out, and they could have had a little tit-tat at first before 15 minutes went past and we didn't even get to see them. Now we go back to the host with more chatter after this spliced in video of them flipping the coin. Then Carlos, we go and finally we in the garage and we realize that they gonna have, by then I'm fucking gone. I'm going to take my little one to school. I'm watching this shit on the phone. We go back to see Carlos in front of the garage with more damn talking redundant ass questions. No, we don't need to talk to Carlos no more. What they should have did was 5-6 minutes of the host, bring out the little academy of what they was going to do, little 3 minutes, then bring out Charles and Carlos, boom, then flip over to Fred if you want to on the different set, and from there, you start the little red video of the track. Make it go faster, though. We don't need to spend 2-3 minutes watching this goddamn red line go around the track. We don't need to do that. Make that shit go around. They should have faded into the montage video of revealing the SF23, and from there, they should have bowed us with the fact that they cut to the garage and the Ferrari pulling out of the garage onto the track, telling every team, how about that, fuckers? Not only did we do a launch, we had a fucking shakedown. How you love me now? But they didn't do that. They fumbled it up because their continuity was shit. If I buy you all the top line ingredients from Whole Foods, from premier fucking boutique stores, and I bring them home to you and say, here you go. Here's all the ingredients to make the best beef Wellington you could ever make. And you fuck it all up. Well, shit, you had the best ingredients. It ain't my fault you screwed it up. That's what Ferrari did. They had all the best ingredients of being the best team, the best launch, and they screwed it up because they had poor continuity, poor time management, and they executed not great. So for that, and I don't hate Ferrari. I like Ferrari. I like the red car. I like the Formula One love child. I hope they do better this season. But for that bullshit, Ferrari gets a 4 from me. They get a 4. Hey, I'm being fair. A 4. They do get a 4. You shitting me. Tell me whatever you want to try to tell me. Ferrari did not have the best launch. Ferrari had the best circumstances and opportunity to have the best launch with doing something that no other team did by having a shakedown at their launch in front of real fans in the stands. But they fumbled it up with continuity. I'm not going to overlook all the crap you did because you did a shakedown. Great. It just made that look much more worse on you that you had these ingredients and you made that. You had Chef Ramsay standing next to you in the kitchen and that's what you cooked and it tastes like that. You had Chef Bourdain, rest in peace, next to you, and you cooked that. You had Bobby Flay help you with that motherfucking shit, and you cooked that. You had Simon. You can tell I watch a lot of Food Network, yes. But that's what they did. So, yeah, they get a 4 from me. Ferrari gets a 4. Hate me if you want to. I don't hate Ferrari, but, yeah, they fumbled it up. And that's real talk. So, next team on the grid. Mercedes. Now they come out. I thought Mercedes did something, a nice little tweak, a nice little wrinkle. Wasn't real big, but it was something that they did within the time constraints of their countdown, which I liked. They didn't start it after their countdown. They started their countdown and gave us a view, a peep into the backstage process as they were preparing to come to the stage. So it's no harm, no foul, right? It's not like we started on time and then you doing this backstage stuff. They gave us a glimpse into the backstage minutes before the show was supposed to begin. I liked it. It was cool. That was a different little wrinkle. No other team did that. I liked it. That was interesting. Other teams tried to do something like that, but it was all fake. It was like recorded in the office and they waiting for them to show up for a meeting and they out dry. Oh, let me hold up. I'll get to that. So then I like that they, instead of doing everybody separate, like, okay, we're going to do the two drivers, we're going to do the CEO, we're going to do the team principal, we're going to do this person. They decided to have a group sit down at a round table, which I think is very symbolic. Around the round table. Also, they had very good diversity inclusion. The women hosts, they had those there. Ethnicity was there throughout the Mercedes panel, just sitting there. I give them points for that. I don't give them points for the fact we still waited 15 minutes beyond that to see the car. Now, still 7 minutes to sit down, do all that. You got like what? You got Schumacher, you got Lewis Hamilton, Schumacher, Russell, Toto, Naomi. So you got like 6-7 people between that 7 minutes. That's not bad. That's not bad time between 4 people that they're going to talk to in Toto, Lewis Hamilton, Russell, and Schumacher. That wasn't bad, okay, because you divvy that up. It's about the same time as what maybe McLaren did with theirs. So I'm not mad at that. But 15 minutes into it to finally see the car after that, I think ran a little bit long at the tooth, but not too much on the talk, just to the point where I started to get there. Then I was like, okay, cool, it's coming. Then just be for real. Once we saw that black livery, like it was boom. I think it was so much like questions about what this was. It going to be a silver arrow? Was it going to be black and silver? Were they going to go to the blacked out Mercedes? What were we going to see from Mercedes? Was this going to be a slim down side pod? Were they going to adopt the Ferrari and Red Bull concepts? So it was a big wow factor, and I think it lived up to it, because when we saw the car, it was a wow. It was a big wow. Having and Toto giving that nice little premiere shade, the real car on set that they were actually going to drive in a shakedown hours later. Now they could have took advantage of that and actually did the shakedown, but they didn't. Ferrari was the only team to do that. They didn't. They did their shakedown an hour later, and it probably was good that they didn't do the shit live, because they ended up having misfire issues, and that would have looked bad tremendously for Mercedes. Okay, but that's not part of the lunch since they didn't include it, so I can't strike them down for that. Also, I think they could have went without the back and forth with Toto in the director again and all that other stuff. You know, I think they could have kind of went down with that, because we kind of already talked about some things. But the tech talk was appreciated in the actual car being there. Like I said, I like the combination when you got your technical director there to talk tech with the car present, and kind of visually show us verbally what you're talking about. Those give you points in a launch, because we're here really to see what's the car going to be like, or what do the drivers think about the car in comparison to their last season. What does the CEO? We're looking for those key points. So I think it's very good when teams do that. Technical director going over techie shit while the car's there to give us a visual representation of what they're talking about. Drivers' reaction to be there on scene with the car and give their reaction to the car. Those are points for that as well. The shade Toto gave was good. And let me tell you, this is where Mercedes went wrong. When Toto gave the outro and then the shade about your real car, you get to see her, they should have went and faded to black right then and there. They would have been golden. I would have probably had them, somewhere ranked a little higher, but they didn't. They went long at the tooth, and then next thing you know, we're sitting there like wondering what's going on. Music's playing. We're just watching a bunch of people around the W14 with no real close-up shit, and we're wondering, like, is this shit over? Should we click off of it? What's going on? Then what they do? They go back, and Russell brings us out for another second outro, which we didn't need. They went long right there, but at least they kept it under 30 minutes. It didn't get too bad, but there were areas where Mercedes, you could have trimmed that fat off. You could have trimmed that fat off if filet mignon ain't got a lot of fat on it. And I'd have asked you for a marbleized ribeye. So for that, Mercedes, for me, gets a 2. They come in with a 2. All right, that's what they come in with. Now, let's get to the worst shit that could have been. It was the worst shit that had a high moment. It was like almost you in a scary movie. You make it out, and then you go back just trying to see if the motherfucker's still chasing you. Why do you care? You're out. Don't worry about if they still chasing you. Just keep going. That's what happened to Alpine. Alpine showed us commercials for 25 minutes. We watched many commercials on Alpine cars hardly anybody cares about. I'm not ordering an Alpine. I have a cart. I have 3 carts in my garage. If I want to drive a damn cart, I'll go drive one of those. We watched so many variations. We watched the urban version. We watched the ice version. We watched the cop version. We watched the out there with Gasly and Ocon version. And then we had to watch those commercials over and over and over and over again. It damn near drove us crazy. It was like Groundhog Day. And now I know what those people feel like. That shit can drive you insane. It would, listen, that shit was when I tell you, I about took my XD44 and shot this laptop up. I was just trying to hopefully cause a shutdown. And then let me tell you what else is bad. It's bad when you late and you do 25 minutes of commercials and then you come on with a countdown. What the hell we count down? We just had a 25-minute countdown. You still ain't ready, and then you hear somebody in the background, a voice talking about, just a moment, we're waiting for everybody to get in their seats. What the hell? 25 minutes, they couldn't get in their damn seats? No, they in their seats, and they unhappy just like we are, because when they finally got to the show, them people was hardly clapping. It was like, the host literally throughout the show was begging for crowd reaction. Okay? The crowd literally were zapped out, just like we were watching that damn launch. Then they go into a 2022 best moments. Can anybody remind me, but didn't Alpine have a shit ton of fucking unreliable moments? Especially for Alonso? So what the hell are we talking about? What 2022 best moments are we going over? Are you talking about all the exploding side pods that Alpine had? Are you talking about the fact that they couldn't hold on to Oscar Piastri because they was busy trying to court old ass, I've been here the longest Alonso, and he jumped out the window on them? Are we talking about those moments? What moments are we really talking about here? Please enlighten us. They showed that short video. It was a waste. Then the energy just kept leaving the room. The host is just still trying to ask for crowd to clap or crowd reaction. Okay? 10 minutes we sat with Otmar. Oh my goodness. Otmar, like 10 minutes. The man almost forgot that he was unveiling the 523, not the 522. He was stuck like, which one is this again? Oh, okay. You know we got 2. They 2 different colors. Thought maybe we had the 22 and the 23 of that. I forgot. Yes, we did. Otmar for 10 minutes. No go. Cancel that. Give him 3 minutes max next time, please. Then what do? We go into another video for the intro of the drivers of shit that's spliced out of the videos that we watched for 25 minutes at the beginning of the show that was late as hell. You gonna show us more videos, but you just put them in black and white. No, stop it. Don't do that. That was not great. That was not a good situation. That was absolutely making this shit far worse than it was. And I tell you what, it was good. They finally, listen, and then they finally gonna show us the cars, right? They trying to make this slow and build it up suspense. They raised the cover. They got the lights dim with low lights shining, kind of silhouetting the car. Don't do all that shit. You're beyond that point. Cut the lights on. Let's see the car. Bow, okay? At least we got to see the drivers there with the car, give a little driver reaction. But this was the moment that Alpine had in the scary movie to get away scathed, but with your life, and continue living your life. They announced initiatives that I thought were utmost awesome. I mean, completely awesome. They had the Race Her program, which is about bringing women to the front of Formula One. They had they let us know the workings of how they were planning to do this. The co-host that was representing that, I loved what she said. People having these these damn indictments on women about they not strong enough, about they can't be fast enough, about they can't handle the G's. Excuse the fuck out of me. At the Super Bowl, those were all women flying F-18 fighter pilots from the Navy. Hoorah. The Navy. I mean, they pulling G's in those, right? Okay, so shut the hell up. I like that she said that. So now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They got my ears spunked up. I'm like, oh, wait, okay. We about to do this. Might help you with me and the graces with me. It might help you. They bring up representatives, the boxer female from over there, the black boxer female. She talks. You know what I'm saying? They bring over the young lady who did her first flight, first lady that young to do a first flight on herself around the world. I'm like, I'm loving this now. This is what other teams didn't really do. They didn't do it like this. Alpine highlighted this problem that exists in motorsports and Formula One, and they said, we're trying to do something about it. Then they announced the karting initiative they're going to do for the young ladies, 10 to 13 years old, bringing them in, letting them work with elite equipment, all the scientific stuff to try to assist them in improving their skills and talents that they have so they can make their way into the elite level. That was awesome. And it was great. And I thought for a minute, although they started bad, I think that this is not so, I think this could actually be salvaged some. And what did they do? They went back into the fucking house where Michael Myers was. Went into the kitchen to see if he was making a sandwich with that knife that he killed so many people with. Turned around. Oh, that was Jason. No, that's Michael Myers. And got their ass stabbed and choked up. Why? They said they had somebody that they were bringing to the stage that was going to be a representative of them that was bigger than Formula One. And I said, oh shit, how in the hell did they work out a contract deal with Lewis Hamilton while he's still driving for Mercedes? This shit's gonna be crazy. Like, I'm gonna have to give them extra marks for this. And I'm like, waiting. Yes, they brought up a football legend, a football soccer legend. And this is where shit went so horribly wrong and cringy. My man did not speak good English. I'm not fronting him for that. But I be goddamn if that interpreter in my ear didn't almost drive me crazy. That was ridiculous. I was like, oh shit. They just took a highlight moment. They could have pulled on a stick, engaged the flaps and stopped this plane from crashing, and they fucking ran it in the ground. They ran it all the way in the ground. 1.5 hours. I think this was the longest launch and the most shit that it was not the most because they did something. This wasn't the most shittiest because they did something and they had a very good initiative and program. So I had to bring them up for that because that is very important. It should be very important for all of us. And of course, we had some assholes making male chauvinistic bullshit comments, and that was definitely unneeded. But what Alpine is doing as far as showing action and programs to what they're trying to do for women gave them high marks. So Alpine, from me, they get a 7. I can't put them lower than Haas because Haas didn't do shit. Can't put them lower than Red Bull because fucking Red Bull, that was horrible. 2-time champion. What the hell are you doing? Definitely can't put them lower than AlphaTauri because that shit right there was a waste of 3 minutes and you could have maximized on that. So yeah, they're at a 7. Alpine gets a 7 from me. So I'll be looking for, and I will say this, Alpine has, I'll say that on another show because I'm going to do another video where we're going to do some other rankings. But right here, this is what it is. 2023 launches rankings for the teams. Here you go. Haas at 10, AlphaTauri at 9, Red Bull at 8, Alpine at 7, Alfa Romeo at 6, Aston at 5, Ferrari at 4, Williams at 3, Mercedes coming in at 2, McLaren at 1, claiming the best to me launch of the 2023 season, the way it was packaged. All right, the way they brought it forth, the way they ran it through, the time management, all of that. Aston definitely dropped the ball, but McLaren did their thing. So McLaren, to me, best launch of 2023, given how they structured it. They officially used their time, how they touched on many areas within there. Like I said, they could have did a bit better, having a little bit more tech talk around the car. But overall, it kept our attention. It gave us a bit of their history, gave us a bit of where they're trying to go. Let us talk to the drivers, the CEO, see the car. Boom. Let's go. 2023, we here. McLaren did it. So there's my rankings. Let me know what you think about that below in the comments section. Where would you have ranked them from 1 through 10? Put that in the comments section and share. I'll look that over. And then let me know what you think some teams could have done to improve their launches for the next season. Let me know what you think that these teams could have done. I'm telling you, had Ferrari contacted me and told me the ingredients they had for their launch, oh, believe me, y'all would have probably seen a launch under 40 minutes and would have blew your fucking socks off. Hands down, Ferrari would have had the best launch of 2023. No bullshit. Because I would have told them all this, listen, all this other shit. No, stop. Ferrari, get over yourself. Get out of your own way. Okay? Stop it. But yeah, this is what it is. I really appreciate you all. I just seen okay, Blue Diva. I didn't see it, but I will check that. I'm glad I looked over there real quick and seen that. So let me know what y'all think. I am finna get off here. We will be having a race live Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your clocks accordingly. That link is already up. We also are looking to have a one-on-one battle between two of our drivers within the Wolfpack Effort Grudge Racing system. I am trying to get with them tonight to see if they want to do a face-off. I'm also trying to see how I'm going to completely structure the competition this close to. So that's going to be interesting. And plus, there is a prize that will be given. The drivers will be battling for Fanatic steering wheel. They will be battling for a stereo. Big shout out to ADVR, Carlos, and our family putting that prize up for either driver to win. I will be setting that up. I'm going to work on that today to get that up and going. So regardless if they don't have the face off, the race will be tomorrow. We're going to set the time. I will put that up, set your links, and we're going to have a good time and see who comes out the victor, because they've been talking crap. So it's time to see who is that. All right. So big shout out, like, comment, subscribe, join the family. I know many of you asked about how do I get in the Discord. You have to be a Wolfpack YouTube family member, and then you will automatically have access to the Discord. Okay, so once you do that, there's a way to download Discord once you have become a Wolfpack YouTube family member, and you have an icon like Mary Beanie, Kirk, Galactus, Blue Diva, Musa. Once you have that icon, that then lets you know that you're in the YouTube membership program. And then from there, when you download Discord and then you enable the YouTube connection and enable the server, allowing the access between both, it will ask you to join the Wolfpack fam in Discord, and then boom, you will pop into the Discord and everybody will welcome you and say hi to you, and you can enjoy the many different channels we have there and pictures that people post there from tracks. And if you're a driver in the Wolfpack Epic Grudge Race system, there's a drivers club specifically for drivers that they only have access to share tech, to share driver setups, to share rig setups, then the cool down room, all of that good stuff. So consider that. I'm going to get to work trying to get these drivers together to duel it off tomorrow. Definitely trying to do what I got to do to keep, my shit calm, because I want to make sure we have that. It will be posted up tonight, in order for you to know when that's going to be. I'm going to get with both drivers this evening and try to get everything set up so we can have that face off. And I will have the structure. You might find out about the structure the day of the race. If not, maybe later on tonight. So big shout out to you all for joining me for the 2023 launch rankings. I really appreciate it. If you don't agree, I understand. Put below in the comment section what you think they should have been ranked. All right. Peace and love.